Well, do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
Welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 51, year 2. Today we're going to talk about everything from the WPT tribute that Matt Savage of WPT put together for Mike Sexton, as well as politics with the debates coming up Tuesday. Everybody wants to know what I think of them. Also going to discuss sports, the Lakers, the Stanley Cup Finals, my pick of the week in football. Stay tuned, the Mouthpiece is next. Yo, welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 51, year 2. How you guys doing today? So, lots of things are going on, and one of the things that I wanted to say thank you to is the World Poker Tour putting on a great tribute on Tuesday to Mike Sexton. So many of the poker world coming together, telling great stories about Mike. It was really a wonderful tribute. I know it means a lot to me in the poker world, so thank you, WPT, for that. Another thing we're going to talk about is my home game. I've been playing like 5 hours a day in it, grinding to $4 PLO, having a lot of fun. Actually enjoying myself playing really cheap limits. So we do have $1 $2 no limit, $2 $4 no limit, $1 $2 PLO and $2 $4 PLO, as well as a 4-8 with a kill Omaha 8 or better to 4-8 12 to make goes to 6-12. So I've been doing the home game's doing really well. It's a lot of fun. We've been Zooming with my players usually a couple times a week, usually at night between 8 o'clock and midnight. We have a lot of fun. Probably going to Zoom tonight after the NBA game. But I'm for all you people out there that haven't signed up to my home game and you want to sign up, I am offering a special this week, and this will go all week. You put in the to the email. If you email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, that's mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and email Mouthpiece Podcast. You're going to get $100 extra in chips for a $200 deposit. That's the most I've ever given. So for every 200 you deposit, you will get $100 extra. Not for every 200, but for $200 that you deposit, you will get 300 in chips to play in my home game. Now, the home game's doing well. We're having a lot of fun, but I just wanted to really let people understand, what I've been really up to and what I've been doing. So, putting a lot of time playing in it. People are enjoying it, and the action's really good. So, if you haven't joined my home game and you want to, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. and put in the email Mouthpiece Podcast, receive an extra $100 for an initial $200 deposit into my home game. So we got that out of the way. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And now we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the country a little bit. The racial unrest, the bullshit, the division, which it's amazing watching left-wing media, because I watch both, and them spin shit into division. They are causing the riots. They are causing police in Louisville to be shot. They are causing police in Compton to be shot because they are pushing a false narrative that police are being killed by black people. Like, I was watching Bill Maher last night, far left, because that's what I do. I watch left-wing media as well as right-wing because I'm not a fucking sheep. And all you people out there that are anti-Trump and that are sheep that don't ever, I can't watch Fox News, it's all propaganda, blah, blah, blah. It's because, well, who told you it's propaganda? The left-wing media did? Okay. Well, I think CNN's all propaganda. Matter of fact, I know it is. Like anybody that could tell me on any given night that I will make a $5,000 bet with anybody out there on any given night. If CNN says 10 things and they can name 5 things that are factually true out of the 10, we could bet 5,000 on that. Okay. Now, if you want to go and do the opposite on Fox, and I'll say no more than 2, we could bet that too. So I ask everybody, I plead with everybody to please go out and watch right-wing media if you're on the left, and go out and watch left-wing media if you're on the right. If you don't, you're a fucking stooge. I don't want to deal with crazy leftists or crazy MAGA people. I mean, there's a middle. I tell people this all the time. It's like, this is a very close election. There's going to be around 64 million people voting on each side, okay? Do you guys really think 64 million people are brainwashed and crazy racist? I mean, give me a break. If half the country is voting for a guy that they've told you is the devil, basically, and the Antichrist, don't you think you're being lied to? Or do you really believe 64 million people have been brainwashed, okay? When, like, viewership on Fox News reaches a total of, like, 10 million, okay? So why are the other 54 million people voting for Trump? Ask yourself that. So I don't want to get in a complete political debate. You know, we got the debates coming up on Tuesday, but I just wanted to touch on that. And I wanted also to touch on this, okay? This is really important to me. As they fucking burn our streets down, shoot the police officers, NBA race-baiting scumbags like LeBron James playing for my Lakers, starting race wars, okay, because he doesn't like the outcome of the Breonna Taylor thing. Let me get you in on something. There's something called a grand jury for all you morons out there, okay? I think it's 15 people that come together in a grand jury. It might be 12. I'm not positive of this, okay? They all look at the evidence, and then they come to a conclusion to charge police officers, okay? Trump did not decide not to charge the police officers, okay? The attorney general in Kentucky, even though he's a Republican, didn't talk to Trump and decide, let's not charge this guy, okay? A grand jury of probably 6 black people, 6 white people, 6 women, 6 men, whatever it is, all looked at the fucking evidence. This is how our fucking country works. You look at the evidence and you decide, okay? Period. As you guys are talking about police officers shooting innocent black people, a false narrative, you know, if you want, you can follow this guy, Coleman Hughes. He's on the left. He's 24 years old. And he talks about race in our country and how the narrative of Black Lives Matter is a complete lie, that police are not shooting black people. Period. There isn't nothing else to say. But what isn't a lie is 38 juveniles killed in gun violence so far this year, says the police, as of August 3rd. Okay? That's it. 38 that are under the age of 18, including a 9-year-old boy that was targeted for shooting while playing outside with friends. 17-year-old activist was shot to death on the city walk. The pair were among 9 people in the weekend across Chicago killed. Another 27 wounded in shootings. This is August 3rd. I'm just going to an article. Police have a suspect in the fatal shooting of a 9-year-old Jerrica Ricks. 9 years old. Where's fucking race-baiting LeBron James fighting for her life? Does her black life not matter? 9 years old. Let's see. Let's go to more. Let's see. There's so many more I could go through. In late June, 10-year-old Lena Nunez was shot and killed while sitting on her family's couch in Logan Square neighborhood. Nunez was struck by a stray bullet after a gunfight erupted on the 3500 block of West Dickens, according to police. That same day, 1-year-old Sincere Gaston was also shot and killed in Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood, according to police. Gaston and his mother were riding in the car at 2 p.m. when a car pulled alongside their vehicle with a person inside began shooting, ultimately firing 7 shots. Also in June, a 3-year-old McKee James was fatally shot while riding in a car in the city's Austin neighborhood. Was one of 4 children killed over the violent Father's Day weekend. LeBron James, racist fucking NBA. Where are you? Their black lives don't matter. Where's justice for these fucking people? These black lives, these young kids. Not the fucking criminals that get shot by police because fucking they're resisting arrest, getting tased, getting back up, reaching for weapons. Where's justice for them? I'll tell you where justice is for them. Because it doesn't fit their political narrative. They need racial unrest in the streets to get the black vote out. And most people don't pay attention to politics, so they literally believe what they're being told. People are being murdered. Cops are being shot in the streets. Well, you can't blame them. They're not educated. They hear fucking race-baiting scumbag LeBron James talk about how we're being murdered and exterminated in the street. You have race-baiting piece of shit. What's that fucking coach for the Clippers? What's that Clipper coach? Fucking idiot. Saying we are being hunted. I've heard from LeBron James and Doc Rivers. They are hunting us. They are systematically killing us. Literally said that. They are killing us. 13 unarmed black people killed last year. 19 unarmed white people. Out of the 13, 11 were justified. Let's just say all 13 were not justified, but 11 were. 43 people were struck by lightning and killed last year. You're 3 times likely to be more struck by lightning than an unarmed black person to be killed by police in the street. It's a fucking lie to cause racial division in our country. And that's what's going on. Don't listen to what the fucking media is telling you. That's what's fucking going on. Now, you want to hear my thoughts on it? Why do I think the NBA has fucking put their fucking nose in this bullshit? Well, I'll tell you my belief, okay? They showed in October how pro-China they are. LeBron had the fucking race baiter. That's what I call him. I'll call him race baiter LeBron from now on. Came out after 2 weeks he had to make a comment about the Daryl Morey thing with China. When Daryl Morey tweeted free Hong Kong, China then pulled the NBA out of the U.S. market. He came back 2 weeks later and said, Daryl Morey was very uninformed. Does LeBron James care about the people in China fighting for their freedom as the Chinese are arresting them, putting them in concentration camps, shooting them, murdering them because they want their freedom? Is LeBron James fighting for the women that are getting raped and playing and working for 20 cents an hour in China to make his fucking shoes to put $200 million a year in his pocket? LeBron James don't give a fuck. LeBron James cares about those billions in China money. I truly believe the NBA has gone all out Black Lives Matter anti-cop to fucking cause racial unrest in the streets to try and get Trump out of office so they could get their China money back. I truly believe that the NBA is working with the Chinese government to get the fucking their money back. They probably told them, you get racial injustice in the streets, you push vote, and get Trump out of office, and we'll give you our $4 billion market. I believe that. I believe that from every inch of my body. Now, am I crazy? Could be a conspiracy theory? Sure. I believe that. There's no other reason why they're pushing a false narrative for racial unrest. Now, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal weighed in yesterday. I don't believe that they could fucking survive this. I think they'll both be fired by TNT. I hope not. Because they told the truth. They told the truth. The witnesses said they heard the knocking, the next door neighbor, even though there was a no-knock warrant on Breonna Taylor. They heard the knocking. They witnessed. They yelled, bam, 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 police, police, bam, 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 police, open up. And as they knocked in the door, they were shot at. And as Barkley and Shaq said, when you shoot at police, they're going to shoot back. And unfortunately, Breonna Taylor was very innocent, was caught in the crossfire. It has nothing to do with race. Zero to do with race. Okay? Everything is a fucking thug felon that resisted arrest and then they ended up dying. Okay? It's a real easy fix. My parents taught me this when I was a kid. You get pulled over by a police officer, you say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, sir, and you don't die. How many unarmed African Americans have died that didn't resist arrest? I'm just going to go in the last 20 years. Over under 5? I'll take the under if anybody wants to bet. Okay? That's just my bet. Okay? So it's really easy. Don't resist arrest. Respect authority. They put their lives on the line every day for us. Okay? You respect authority. That's it. But they've turned it. The Democrats have gone full anti-police, and then they chime in every single one of these things to enrage their fucking base. That's it. And now we have fucking mayhem in the streets. We have riots in the streets. We have looting in the streets. I mean, don't even get me going where I think it comes from. I believe it comes from all the way from the top. You know, people, now listen, I don't want to be straight out and just say things are only on the left, okay? Because on the right, Trump stokes a lot of fear, but he doesn't stoke fear which causes violence in the streets. You know, he tells you, oh, if you don't vote for me, the mob's coming to the suburbs. And maybe they are. Okay, I've seen some. I mean, maybe they are. Who knows? Okay, but that's fear-mongering. Okay? When he says, if you don't vote for me, they're going to get rid of this, and this. Well, maybe they are. But to me, it's more fear-mongering. Okay? So there's a lot of rhetoric and bullshit on both sides. Okay? I'm always going to vote right because I believe the policies of the right is the right way to go. People ask me, how do I support Trump for all the things he says and does? Well, he says a lot of dumb things. And I know the people listening to this on the right are going to get mad at me and send me just terrible direct messages. But he's just a fucking moron, okay? I mean, his policies are awesome. what he's done for the country economically are awesome. Okay, now you say anybody who says to me, well, oh, he's done a great job with the economy. Look at it now. Yeah, he was forced to close the entire economy, the greatest economy in history, which reached every record unemployment level at the lowest in history, every stock market the highest in history, because based on a fucking lie that coronavirus was going to kill millions, okay? And as it turns out, I posted it yesterday, and I'll read it out to you for anybody who doesn't follow me on Twitter. I just really want to read this out to you because it's kind of important to me. Now this is from the CDC website, okay? cdc.gov. Coronavirus disease in 2019. Here you go. Age 0 to 19. The odds of dying from coronavirus or survival from coronavirus are 99.997%. That means it's 0.003 tenths of a percent if you're 0 to 19. Oh, but all the schools are closed. Why? It's real easy why. They exposed the lady who runs the LA school district. We cannot open schools till after the election. They got her on a fucking a leaked audio saying this. Why were all the colleges? Same thing. Then they realized that they want their money more than they care about political power, and they opened the college football up. 99.997% survival rate, 0 to 19. The CDC web, here's the data. Listen, people on the left that you always talk about science. Here's the fucking science. 20 to 49. Survival rate, 99.98. That's 0.02 tenths of a percent to die from COVID if you're under 49 years of old. Now, this is not even counting underlying conditions. 50 to 69. Now it goes up again a little bit. You're 99.5% to survive. That means you're half of a percent. Okay? Half of 1%. Okay? So that's, let's see, there's 320 million. So 1 out of 64 million people. Did I do that right? 1% is, wait, I think I did that. So 320 million people. 1% of that is, point. The bottom line is like, just reading off the stats. You guys can figure it out. So now it's not 0.5%, 50 to 69. Now here's the problem. 70 plus years old. Now this doesn't matter if you have underlying conditions or not. 70 plus years old, survival rate 94.6. So if you're over 70, you got a 5.4% chance of dying from COVID. That's a lot. So it's real easy. If you're over 70 years old, stay the fuck home until there's a vaccine. If you're under 70, take your fucking mask off, go out in the streets, go wherever the fuck you want, go to a bar, go to a casino, go wherever the fuck you want. You're not going to die of COVID. Now, if you're out and about and you're out in bars and shit, before you see grandma and grandpa that are over 70 years old, make sure you get a COVID test. It's real easy. Now they have COVID tests being sent directly to your house. The NFL takes like 100,000 COVID tests a day. The reason why we're the highest COVID test is because everybody's getting tested in mass testing now. Nobody else is. Another false narrative. Over 200,000 people have died in the United States from COVID. Well, again, go to the CDC website. This is when there was 189,000 that had died. I think that's close to like 3 weeks ago or whatever. Out of the 189,000, 9,864 died that didn't have some sort of underlying condition. Do you see my point here? That's in 7 months. That's like 1,200 a month through the whole country out of 320 million people that didn't have underlying conditions. I mean, more people die from spinal meningitis. Most people die from cancer. More people, but they don't close the country for it. This is all politically motivated to get people through the election. That's it. So they could go COVID, 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 COVID. You, Mr. President, have killed all these people. COVID, 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 COVID. Okay. Now look it up yourself. There's a major spike going on in Europe. Okay. If you add all Europe up, Ireland, France, Germany, Austria, whatever, all the people in Europe, okay, it comes to 300 million people. It's 20 million less than the United States. Yet, they've had over 40,000 more deaths. But they don't tell you that. All they want to tell you is, we are the leading people deaths in the United States. Again, a false lie. Look this up. I'm not making this shit up. Look it up. Okay? Look it up. That's all I'm asking people to do. Look it up. It's a false narrative. Everything's a false narrative. Everything you see is all built on getting Trump out of office November 4th, 3rd. That's it. That's it. You will, all the schools, everything will be open November 4th. Okay? But I think it's going to backfire on them. I think the people are seeing through the light. You know? So, I just want to get that out because it really bothers me. These false narratives being pushed out, the anti-police rhetoric. Yeah, I'm wearing my Laker jersey today. I bleed Laker gold. But I found myself watching these games and literally rooting against LeBron James. Now, I think that's really bad. I mean, I shouldn't sink to their level. But it's just very, very upset. It's just so upsetting to me, that the racial unrest are starting. I just don't understand it. It's so frustrating to me. And so I just want to get that out. I'm very passionate about this. Now, I'm trying to not go full political during this election cycle. It's very divisive. Half the people listen to me are going to vote for Biden. Half the people are going to vote for Trump. I'm real worried when Trump wins that the left is going to try and burn the country down. But I believe when Trump wins, they will literally have the military in the streets, and because he can't put the military in the streets right now, because then they'll call him a dictator and a fascist or whatever. But this shit will end right after the election, whether he wins or loses. But I'm not really quite as vested this year as I was in 2016. I know it's a lot more important election. People will say on both sides it's life or death, whether Trump wins or loses. I hate to tell you this, guys. It's not life or death. If Biden wins, we're going to be okay. If Trump wins, you're going to be okay. Remember what they told you 4 years ago, though? The world was coming to an end if Trump wins. Okay, please. Nothing has changed. You don't tell them. And anybody who calls my show when we open up phone lines and blames Trump for the fucking virus is going to get hung up on because they're just morons listening to propaganda. Okay, do your research. Okay? Trump was ahead of the curve on everything in Corona. The Democrats fought him. Can you imagine if Trump would have closed down travel completely in January like he wanted to do? It would have been an upheaval of incredible proportions. Okay? And the Democrats fought it. Joe Biden called him a xenophobe, a racist, for closing down the flights to China. Nancy Pelosi said that he is fear-mongering the virus, that he's overplaying it, Go look these up. I don't make this shit up. There's videos. He's overplaying the virus to stoke fear into people. People need to just live their lives. Biden said it. Pelosi said it. Schumer said it. Go look it up. I'm not making this shit up. But if you watch left-wing media, they're going to tell you why they were trying to impeach Trump, which a total fake impeachment. They knew the outcome before it started. It was all for political purposes. One side, it was always going to be convicted in the House. He was always going to be found not guilty in the Senate. And all for, why the coronavirus was spreading, they didn't do shit. Watch the State of the Union address. Trump addresses the coronavirus. What does Nancy Pelosi do? She rips up the speech and called it hate speech. I'm just saying, man. Educate. Educate yourself. Whether you hate Trump or not, educate yourself. Look past the rhetoric and the things you hate about Trump and understand why 64 million people are voting for him. Educate yourself. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about a little bit of sports. Stanley Cup Finals looks like they're coming to a mercifully end as Tampa Bay is up 3-1. Gizmo, look at the big cat. Look at, you guys remember my baby boy, my little kitten? Look how big he is now. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Are mercifully coming to an end. I knew Tampa Bay was a lock to win. I should have bet it, but I didn't. I quit betting 3 years ago. But I have made, after picking like 17 straight winners, I decided to bet 2,000 on a few games. I went 0 for 3. You think the man upstairs ain't telling me something? Please. And then I was just laughing about it. You know, I'm like 17 straight winners, didn't bet any, decided to throw my money into a couple of bets and lost them both, including I made a really big bet for me, one that I can't really afford it. You know, I could afford it, but I don't want to be losing $3,000 bets. But yeah, I bet $3,000 on Golden Knights in Game 5 of the Vancouver series. Watch them blow, or not the Vancouver, the Dallas Stars series. Watch them blow a 2-0 lead with 10 minutes to go. That was very, very frustrating. So, and then I have bet the Boston Celtics. I bet them in Game 3, and I bet them yesterday in Game 5. I actually told the guy I bet with, I bet 2,000 on Boston yesterday. I said, if this was the old Mike, I would literally bet 20,000 on Boston yesterday. And the reason for is I've watched the games. Okay, it's 3-2 in favor of Miami. In games 1 and 2, Boston led double digits in both games. Gave it away in the last 5 minutes to go down 2-0. I mean, literally gave them away. Then they dominate Game 3. Game 4. Game 4 was a game I kind of was waiting a little bit to lay off of. I wanted to see what happened. Game 4, Boston dominated every statistical category by a long shot. Rebounds, three-pointers, field goals made. But the one they lost was turnovers. They had 24 turnovers. Miami had 17. I said, well, they're not going to turn it over like that the next game. And if they play like that the next game, they're going to crush them. And they did yesterday, and they crushed them. And now it's 3-2, and you guys heard it from me. I truly, truly believe that Boston is going to win this series in 7. I think they are far the better team, and they showed it yesterday in the second half. Now, you know, the thing is when you dig yourself a hole, though, and you're down, you give away 2 games, it's a tough hole to come back, even when you're the better team. I mean, Boston's going to have to bring their A game to win. I think they're going to. I think they have the best coach in the league. So, I might bet on Boston again. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I knew yesterday it was a guaranteed win, but I really like Boston to come back and win this series. I might be wrong. Now, going back to the other series, with the Lakers. It's like I said, I found myself something I've never thought I've ever would do, is kind of rooting against them, which is really stupid, because the leader of their team is a race-baiting piece of shit. I know Jerry would have fucking got rid of this clown even if he won him a championship. He wouldn't put up with this shit. I know it. I know Jerry very well, so it really bothers me. But it's really weird. I watch it and I pull for the Lakers and then I pull against them. I watch a game and I kind of find myself rooting. Every time LeBron James touches the ball, I kind of root for him to fucking twist his ankle and something. And then again, I do want them to win. I'm a diehard Laker fan. It's a really, really weird situation. I'm just being honest how I feel. They're up 3-1. But this series, honestly, this has been a lot. It's really weird. This has been a lot different than the Boston series. Boston's down 3-2, and I felt they've dominated most of the series. The Lakers are up 3-1, and they could easily be down 3-1. I think they've been the better team, but they haven't been the better team by much. I mean, if Anthony Davis doesn't screw up that defensive on the defensive stuff, that the defensive breakdown in game 4. I mean, you're talking about it was game 3. It was one game apiece, yeah, or it was 2 games to on game 2. That's right, it would have been 1 game apiece. And then the Nuggets won game 3, and then they lost a really great battle in game 4. But if you don't hit that shot, it's 2-2. And even the last game that put them up 3-1. I mean, the Nuggets were right there. They just couldn't make a shot. Every time they were down by 3 or 2 with the ball late, Jokic just didn't have enough. It seemed like he didn't have enough lift in his legs. He couldn't get the shot. He was really struggling to score. Jamal Murray's a fucking stud. He is a stud. I don't think there's any chance they come back from 3-1. This isn't. I think the Lakers probably win it in 5. I think they're the better team, but man, this Denver team, Denver, Dallas, and Phoenix, watch out. These are the 3 teams that are coming, and Miami, and Boston. But Dallas in the West. I mean, the Clippers are still got a lot of talent, and I think they got a shot, their window to win a championship. They got a couple more years. I felt the Lakers' window was this year and maybe next. I mean, I don't know how LeBron at 35, he's just amazing. As much as I can't stand him as a person, I shouldn't say that because he's done so many good things with the school that he did in Ohio. Let me rephrase that. As much as I can't stand that he's so uneducated about politics, or he's doing it on purpose to divide the country for the China money, which is what I believe, he is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. And you give props where props are due. The guy went to 8 straight finals, and then he decided to skip one last year because he got injured, and now he's going back to the finals. I mean, anybody who wants to doubt this guy's talent, you're just a bunch of fucking idiots. So that's what's going on in my life. That's what's going on in the world. Debates coming up Tuesday. It's going to be fun. Me and everybody who plays in the home game, we're going to do a Zoom, and we're going to watch the debates together. A lot of people play in my home game, they're Trump supporters, but there's a lot that aren't. So we're going to watch the debates on Zoom together. We're going to laugh a little bit. So if you haven't joined my home game, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. Get $300 for a $200 initial deposit on that. So we're going to be talking about the debates. They should be good. I tell people all the time, people are like, oh, Trump's going to kill Biden. Biden's been debating for 47 years. Okay. Guy's been in office since I was 3. Don't think he's going to kill him. They'll make sure he's on some good anti-dementia medicine to make sure he's sharp. So people that think he's going to get killed.
Wrong.
Yeah. Anyways, let's open up the phone lines, sir.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Madison on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live. Okay, call me 702-329-0480. Tell me what you want to talk about. Call me, yell at me, tell me I'm crazy, call me names. I'll hang up on you if you call me too many names. We can talk football. My pick of the week. I'm studying them right now. And should be an interesting week. Very interesting week. Oh, I think I know who I'm picking already. Yeah, that looks like a good pick. Yeah, so what I do is I kind of study them all late at night, and I go over it. Once again, I am back to normal. We picked the pick of the week. Wins outright, like I told you they would, with the Raiders last week. We are now 2-0 through 2 weeks on my pick of the week, and I am 4-16 in my pick'em. So things are back to normal. I win with my best pick, and I lose all the other games. That's how it was every year for the last 31 years. So things are back. Last year was an anomaly. I couldn't win my pick of the week, but I ended up 9 games over 500 on the rest of the picks. So, things are definitely back to normal with me. I look at some of these picks and very, very interesting. I mean, wow. How in the fuck is San Francisco in the early game, West Coast going favored over the Giants? I mean, their entire team is decimated by injuries. That should be interesting. I might go with that one at +4.5. Haven't decided yet. I'll get, I look at it. I see 2 games I really like. And we'll see what happens here. Anyway, just call me, 702-329-0480. And let's hear what you guys have to say. And, whatever. So, let me grab me a fucking drink real fast. Hey, buddy, can you grab me a drink out of my refrigerator? Yeah, thanks a lot. So, so I'm looking at the line. Yeah, okay. We got Minnesota +2.5 against Tennessee. God, Minnesota looks terrible. Their defense looks so terrible. We have Frisco -4.5 against the Giants. We got the Eagles 5.5 over Cincinnati. God, the Eagles are terrible. Here's my game. This is the one I told somebody I really liked the most, and I'm definitely going to pick this game. This is going to be my pick of the week. So we have Atlanta 3.5 over Chicago. We have New England 6.5 over the Raiders. I like New England a lot. Raiders coming off the big Monday night win. They're 2-0. I mean, they look good. Again, this is their second trip in 3 weeks to the early time zone, going across country. New England played great against Seattle. Cam Newton looks fantastic. Rams +2.5 against Buffalo. The Rams for 2 weeks have looked fantastic. Jalen Ramsey has looked fantastic on defense. The Rams defense looks rejuvenated. The number's small. They're begging you to bet Buffalo at 2.5. I think I like the Rams there. Cleveland, Washington, 6.5. Really no pick there. If I leaned anyway, it'd be Washington. Houston 0-2 +3.5 against Pittsburgh 2-0. Pittsburgh's looked good. Ben's looked good for 2 weeks. Houston, we have a problem. let's trade DeAndre Hopkins, the second best receiver, maybe the best receiver in the NFL. No, second behind the guy from Thomas from New Orleans. Let's give him away for fucking me, my editor, and Donald Trump, and see if we can win any football games. As even though Johnson's been really good for them, but I mean DeAndre Hopkins was a game changer. Can't even believe they gave him up. They're a fucking bunch of idiots.
We've missed a couple calls.
Well, why?
I'm not sure. Let me see if we can get this guy.
All right. Why are we missing calls, buddy? You're doing a bad job.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it ringing. I hear you ringing, but you can't come in. Bum, 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 bum. Looks like they don't want to talk to us. Carolina Chargers.
You have reached.
Chargers 6.5. Indianapolis 10.5. Boy, they really think the Jets really stink. I don't know. I don't think they're that bad. They've got a lot of injuries, so I ain't laying 10.5 with Indianapolis. Well, welcome to the Mouthpiece. Is Mike.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
We're okay, We're just listening to some live shows. It's live right now, or?
Yeah. We are live on the air.
Rejuvenated.
Lower the volume.
We're small. They're
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, who is it? What's your name, man?
What's my name? My name's Habib
Oh,
Chaban.
where are you from?
I'm from Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, you got any questions for me today?
It's politics, right? Yes. I don't know, you said something to talk about.
Sure.
So some topic popped up in our heads and we're just trying to kind of figure it out, you know?
Yeah. It's politics is a pretty fucked up, divided situation in this country right now. But it is what it is. You know.
That's good enough. Good enough. Yeah. So what's going on in the world? Let me ask you that question.
What's going on?
Where are we going?
What
Where
are
we going
that's,
with this
that,
whole situation, this whole everyday and day things?
You want to start
That-
from the virus?
The virus and whatever and
One at a
whatever.
time. Let's attack it one at a time, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you turn that volume down in the back? I can't hear you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. So no, what are we gonna do? It's a pretty disgraceful situation going on in the world, isn't it? I mean,
Very much so.
but I knew this was gonna happen.
What is it all about? Like, where do they want to get to, man?
That's
There's the ending.
that's a
There's
good
the ending
question.
to everything.
That's a good question. What do they want? Okay, that's a really good question. What do they want? Well, they want to burn the shit down. If Trump gets reelected, that's what they want. I mean,
So that's from your lens. That's just one lens.
yeah. So, I mean, it's
Okay,
disgusting.
that's two opinions.
It's horrible, you know. But yeah, what do they want? That's a good question. What do they want? We have a justice system that's designed for innocent or guilt, and if they don't get their way, they want to go riot in the streets like a bunch of little babies with a temper tantrum.
So how come in the last 250 years or however long in USA history, it's never been like this deep, this enrooted, this
Well, I'll tell you
this
why.
intense?
I'll tell you why. That's a real good question. And the answer is they will stop at nothing to divide this country into pieces to get Trump out of office. Okay? These billionaires and top 1% that run the world, they hate him because he is a threat to their money. Period. What do you think Bloomberg's worth $68 billion. He spent $1 billion trying to buy the presidency. Now he just spent $100 million in ads in Florida, including raising $16 million to pay fines of felons to get it wiped off their record so they could go vote for Biden. Why? Because he's made $60 billion of his $68 billion through his media company through China. Okay, that's a threat to all these people, or they're threat to their money. That's why the big people are coming.
We all know right now. Sorry, let me get into this for a bit with you.
Yeah.
We all know right now that he went to Saudi Arabia and picked up a whole load of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brought it back to the United States. So he's got power, and he's got associates all over the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I don't know if they fear him or they comply by everything he wants.
I just believe. Now this is my belief. It's my opinion. My opinion doesn't need to be fact. But I just believe that he's a threat to their money. I believe he's a threat to the status quo. Okay, everybody else gets in office. All these people have run for president, have been in president. They got into office with no money. They leave. They're worth $150 million. You know, if you're making money in politics, you're a fucking scammer.
Okay, Mike, are you gonna answer honestly then right now? Are you gonna answer honestly?
Yeah, of course.
And you don't think Trump is a part of them now?
Do I believe? Of course, Trump's a part of them. Trump's just
okay. So
but I do believe in the bottom of my heart. Now, listen again. I am not a Trump fan. I used to be. I'm not anymore. Okay.
But he's a doorknob, but he's better. He's a doorknob, but he's still good. He's good for the right things. He's good.
Correct.
For the right things.
Correct. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Yes.
100%.
100%.
100%.
I agree with you 100%. Okay. But he's good. Like the policies and the things that he's doing that they hate is pro-American and good for America. And if you look at the interviews from the 80s, there's like 4 or 5 80s and 90s. He did like 5 interviews. Barbara Walters, Oprah, go look him up. Everything he says today on the campaign trail and when he runs his mouth on Twitter, he was saying 40 years ago. So it's not like he's just making this shit up. You know, he's been saying it for 40 fucking years. So, you know, with that said, I believe he's fighting for the country. I believe he's also not the greatest human being alive.
What do you mean he's fighting for the country? He runs the world now.
Yeah.
Not the way, but the thing is right now, Mikey, the thing is that no one's understanding here. It's so close to the elections right now.
Right.
Like we're very close to the election.
Right.
Since he believes he's gonna win, because everyone believes they're gonna win, right? We understand that feeling. But so if the country has a chance, even and a small chance. And listen, Mikey, we're from the Middle East, and I know originally where you're from also, and our backgrounds and everything. But like we see little signs of how back home was, and how you can see everything's being politicized in every possible way.
Yes.
And we see how civil wars start. We've been in them our whole lives. We understand how they operate.
I agree.
So if there's a risk to even like go there, why not let these 30 days pass? Especially if this thing that they're gonna jam and all this now, like, feels like all the puzzles are just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang everywhere.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
This is very risky, man. Very risky.
No, we're at a very, very dangerous time in this country, and I believe it is 100% media driven because they will stop. I said it. The thing is, if you listen to my podcast, I've been saying it for a year and a half. They will stop at nothing to get Trump out of office. They don't care if there's civil war. They don't care how many millions die.
Yeah, they're going to attack him. And that's the scary part.
That's scary. Look at the rhetoric. Think about this.
You were saying if they lose, but I'm tripping more if he loses. What his supporters?
Now that's a very good question. Okay. Now we know that if Biden loses, the left, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing now, rioting and burning shit down. But I don't think
But
Trump
he can
will
control that because he'll have authority to control that.
Yeah, he'll be able to control it after the election. He can't do it now. Okay? Now, that's a good question. I worry about this. And this is
I've been
why
worrying about this for about a year and a half. I was saying, imagine this lady died, and look, she died.
Yeah.
Like your creator is making some crazy things happen in the world.
So now you made a good point. So let's just say Biden wins, okay? God forbid. Biden wins, okay?
Yeah.
And that's why people are like, oh, Trump's anti-mail-in ballots. No, he's not. He's said it a million times, but they won't show that on the media. They'll just say he's against mail-in ballots. He's trying to steal the election. No, he's all for absentee ballots. He's against mass mail-in ballots. What the Democrats are doing is if you're on a voter roll, they're sending you a ballot in the mail, whether you voted for 10 years or not. Okay? Then people could go. There's people that are going to vote at the polls, and they're going to vote with the ballots that they got that are going to be in the mail at the same time. Okay, so he is against mass mail-in ballots. Okay, you want an absentee ballot, you apply for one, you get one. It's in by, unless you're in the military, you have a few more days to come in the whatever couple 100,000 ballots, whatever it is, but. But he's against the mass mail-in ballots, and he's right. Anybody tells me he's right. My friend Ashley, she's on the far left. She hates Trump's guts, says we cannot have mass mail-in ballots. We cannot have, at the end of this election, people wondering whether it was rigged or not. We cannot. And that's the point. And they're in the three biggest swing states, in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court has ruled unconstitutionally that they will accept ballots up to 72 hours after the election. Think about that. Think about that for a second. At the end of November 3rd, if it shows that Trump won, how easy is it going to be to postmark thousands of ballots that'll come in 2 days later and then say he lost? You can't have that in this country. Even if it's even the other way. This is how you get a civil war. Just what I just said. You can't have it. So let's just, everybody, go to the fucking polls and fucking vote. And if you want an absentee ballot, you apply for one. Why are the Democrats changing the rules a month before the election? Because they know they're going to lose and they're trying to steal it. So is Trump rhetoric good? It's terrible. Trump's rhetoric's terrible, but he has to protect the sanctity of the vote. All he's asking for is apply for regular absentee ballots or go vote. He hasn't asked for much. But if you turn on left-wing media, they are, Trump's trying to suppress the vote. He's against mail-in ballots. He's trying to destroy. It's just a lie. It's not true.
No. He's not about that. He's just an idiot, but he's a good idiot.
Dude, that's perfect. He's a fucking. I'll go further. He's a moron, but he's a good moron. You know? You hit it right on the nose.
But he's our moron.
He's our moron. Hey, man. God bless you, man. Thanks for calling, man. Thanks for calling. God bless you. And let's pray for our country, you guys. I love you. Thanks for calling. Peace,
just
man.
Leave it in the hands of the Lord, my friend.
You got it, my friend. I agree.
Right.
Take care.
Later.
All right. Oh, those guys were cool. See, they understand. Same thing I say. Yeah, Trump's a moron, but he's a good moron. I know there's no such thing as a good moron, but there is. You know? I mean, people just are so uninformed. It's just so scary.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye. Any other ones? Well, it's slow. Well, it's Saturday. Oh, they're all watching the Laker game, probably. So we'll hang around for a few minutes, see if we get any more calls. 702-329-0480. 702-329-0480. Usually a Saturday we get a lot of, we usually get a lot of calls. Looks like our boy Kevin with Sports Brokers has bailed out on us after 1 week and 2 losers. It looks like he bailed out on us. I mean, I had a contract with him for a month, but he has ghosted us, and I really don't care. He paid for the first week, and he could have. He probably should have picked a couple of winners. He probably would have had a lot of people go to his site. Very interesting. So he has disappeared. So we have nobody to debate sports with this week. Well, only a couple phone calls today. What we're going to do is pivot to our pick of the week. Roll the music. Da-da-da. Do we have music?
No, you always do.
Oh, I do? No music for our pick of the week? There it is. Here's my pick of the week. Okay, everybody. I'm doing it. I know you guys are fucking, this is crazy. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going with my pick of the week. They are 3.5-point favorites. They are 0-2. They are going against a 2-0 team. I predicted this team to win the NFC South. They are a team that gave away a 20-point lead versus Dallas last week with like 5 minutes to go. Most incredible thing I ever seen. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons at 3.5 over the 2-0 Chicago Bears. I believed that the winner of that division was going to go to the Super Bowl. I thought it was going to be Tampa Bay or Atlanta. Those are my preseason picks. Atlanta should be 1-1. They're 0-2. The pressure on the coach to make the playoffs is all he was told: playoffs or bust. They like the coach. They play hard for this coach. I still can't believe the fucking spinning football last week. But yes, Mr. 4-16. That's what I am in my pick'em this year. 2-0 though on my 10-star picks. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5 over the Chicago Bears. And there's a lot of other games I really like this week. This one sticks out a lot to me. I like Detroit plus 5.5 over Arizona. Yes, Arizona's 2-0. Yes, they look good. Detroit's 0-2. They fell apart in the second half against Green Bay. I mean, literally, if Detroit loses this game and goes to 0-3, their coach might not see game 4. I'm telling you right now. So I like them a little bit. Tennessee 2.5 over Minnesota. I mean, road favorite. I mean, it goes to show you that Minnesota's defense is just decimated. They stink. Losing Barkley kind of hurts. San Francisco's lost a lot of players. I kind of like the Giants plus 4.5. I mean, I think I might find myself a winning week this week. Seems like a lot of picks that, go their way. I like the Patriots minus 6.5 over the Vegas. But who knows? I mean, if they can win a Monday night game like the way they did, go on a short week from Vegas to New England in the early time zone and beat New England or cover, wow, that means this team's for real. I don't see it. I kind of like New England, but nope, the Atlanta Falcons are definitely my pick. Everybody's like, they've been laughed at, made fun of. They have been just shredded in the media this week. I know they're a very good team. It's a must-win for them. I love Atlanta minus 3.5 over Chicago. There's my 10-star pick of the week. That's it. Let's see if we can start the year off 3-0 on our 10-star pick of the week. This is, like I said, this is more normal to me. Every year, since I can remember, I'm like 80% on my 10-star picks, and like, not 80, maybe, 75, 80. And then I'm like, the rest of them I lose like 90%. That's how I've been my whole life. You know what I mean? So I'll pick one or two games. Hey, we got another call. Ooh, welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Hey, Mike, I just want to check with you on something.
Sure.
You know a lot about sports betting, but, man, you're such a good poker player, great poker player. Don't you think your money's better invested like in poker? Don't you get a bigger return from poker than sports betting?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you win on both?
No, I don't bet sports anymore. I quit 3 years ago. I made a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I made I came out of retirement to make a bet on a hockey game this year. I bet $3,000. I led 2-0 with 10 minutes to go. I lost. I was like, and that's after. That's after picking 17 straight winners without making a bet. So I decided, I'm doing a lot better. Let me make a bet, and I lost like 3,800 or something. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, Mike. So, and then I made another bet for 2,000 on Boston yesterday. I still believe they're the best team. I think they're going to win that. I think they're going to win that series. They're down 3-2. I might be wrong, but no, I don't bet no more. My days of betting are over. You know, I used to bet 5, 10, 20,000 a game. I lost, 6.3 million betting sports. No, I don't bet sports no more. No, I finally wised up.
$2 or $3,000. I mean, that's like one cash game pot for you. That's not a big deal for you.
Listen, if I bet 1,000 or 2 on every game of the board my whole life, I'd be worth millions. Okay. So, if I throw a game, there's a game on TV, and when I say I quit betting, I mean I've made $1,000 bet, probably 10 times, 15 in the last 3 years, but most of the time it's at a poker table where we're all playing poker and I say pick a side or they pick a side and we watch the games. But other than that, I just don't bet no more, and I never will. It takes, listen, you go broke enough times and you struggle like I have once I had my injury and stuff, you wisen up. I mean, if you don't, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results. So you got to move forward in your life and realize, that sports betting is just a losing proposition. You just can't win, But I do give my pick of the week out every week.
Who's going to beat the bookies, man? They got so much more information than you do, than anybody does. Listen, they know what's going on.
I'm the only guy who ever booked that lost. Me and a guy named Steve Flicker, God rest his soul, he died about 5 years ago. We used to book, and we booked the 2 biggest fish in poker, and they beat us each for $1 million each, and they busted us. And most bookies would say, hey, good luck next week, and book them the next week. And then if they won, say, hey, we're waiting on some money, bet this week. That's what most bookies do, right? And then they get all their money back. But we were very honest. We said, hey, you busted us. We're out of business. You have to bet somewhere else. And then they ended up losing $3 million the next 2 weeks after beating us for $2 million. So it's what happens. I'm the only guy who ever lost booking. But, I mean, I play poker with all these guys. All the bookies have all the money. You can't win at sports. There's not a bookie in the world that doesn't have all the money. Not one. So.
Oh, yeah. It's like being on the poker table. You got $200 in chips. They got $20 million. How do you possibly touch it? It's just no way.
No, it's the same thing. You're right. Like in poker, he who has the money has the power. When I had all the money and I challenged everybody head up, and they would ante up with 30, 40,000 against me, play me head up, no limit or whatever, and I would have like $1 million behind me, and I would put the pressure to them for their bankroll. And when you have that's why you'll see a lot of these very rich people win a lot of money playing poker, because they don't mind if in a big game, when you bet 10,000 and they make it 50,000. 50,000 of them is like $5 to me and you. See what I'm saying? So anytime you could put pressure on people, I mean, you're always going to win in No Limit Hold'em. He who has the money is going to win. It's the same with the bookies. You're 100% right.
No doubt. Hey, one more question. Are you going to follow up your book, Check Raising the Devil? Man, that was a great book, man.
Yeah, I got a new book coming out. I was supposed to get it out by the election, but unfortunately, a lot of things happened that I had to work on different things and I wasn't able to. It's called Poker, Pain, and Politics, how all three made me a better person. That'll probably be out by the first of the year, I hope. And so that's what I'm really working on. And it talks about what I've been through in the poker world since my last book came out. It talks about the pain I've been through with my injury. And it's not really about politics, but me becoming political and understanding the world has made me a better person because it's made me care about more than myself, more than just playing on the green felt. And I start realizing, and this is what I tell a lot of people who hate Trump or whatever, it's like the forgotten men and women in this country, the people in the middle of, I never knew that the middle of the country was sold out to NAFTA trade agreement, where cars are all made in China, Japan, and Mexico, and that Detroit's is gutted and it's like a slum now. I didn't know any of that. I thought they were all made in Detroit, And same with all the middle America, all these people they're all hooked on opioids with no jobs because they're getting rid of whether it's coal or whatever. I mean, there's a lot to think about, and that's why I've become political and I start thinking about all these other people, the working class people, because everybody in poker, not one person in poker, whether you play, even if you pay 50 cents in a dollar, okay, you're not in the real world. Because even if you play 50 cents in a dollar, you're going to lose a couple $100 a day, win or lose a couple $100 a day. The real world are the mother and father that are working for $100 or $200 a day to try and put food on the table for their kids, for their two kids, and they're working 16-hour days. That's the real world, okay? Nobody, not one poker player is in the real world. And I've learned to reach out and care about them, and that's what the politics part of my book is about. So it should be good.
Well, man, anything you feel about any issue falls somewhere on the political spectrum. So people say they're not political or wrong. If you've got an opinion about trade or anything else, Detroit, like you said, you're on the political spectrum.
Agree.
And you're going to get feedback.
Yeah, agree.
Wherever it is.
Yeah, agree. And before 2015, I didn't know, and I have no problem saying it. It could be you could laugh at me all you want. I didn't know what a Democrat or Republican was. I just knew one. I just voted for whoever sounded the best when I heard a TV ad. You know what I'm saying? I just knew one. The only thing I knew is one side was for big government and the other side was didn't want government in their lives. So I always said, well, if I had to be anybody, I'd probably be a Republican because I don't want government in my life. But I didn't know to the depths of how it goes. That the Democrats will want to give away everything for free because they don't want people working. They want people living off the government so they can vote for them for power. See, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I learned all that. But in this world, like I said, my dad taught me, God rest his soul, he said, son, there's nothing you can't do in the world if you want to be successful. You work hard enough, you can have it. You want to be a millionaire, you work hard, you can have it. My parents came from no money, none, zero. Even when my dad was busting his ass selling carpet and furniture when I was 21 years old, and then I was living in a mobile home that I was paying $200, was it $208 a month rent. I lived in a mobile home the size of the room that literally the size of the room I'm doing the podcast in, right? I worked my ass off to get where I came. I came from nothing. In life, if you work hard enough, you could have anything. And the Democrats want to tell you you're a victim and you're dealt a bad hand, and because of the color of your skin, you need us. You can't make it in the world. And that's a fucking lie. Okay, you go out. I don't care who you are. If you could go out, if you have nothing and you work 2 jobs a day and you live in the cheapest place you could find and you save and you save and you save for 2 years, and then you could go to college. And if you do that from the age of 18 to the age of 28, and by the time you're 30 and out of college, you've got a full-time job making money. Don't tell me you can't make it. Anybody can make it if you work hard enough. They got to stop the victim mentality. The victim mentality is destroying this country. It's destroying it.
Exactly. It's dividing everybody, man. It's
right.
Dividing people. That's their whole idea. Divide by race. The feminists divide by sex.
Right.
the Democrats.
That's the Democrats.
They want to divide it every way.
Right. Now, I mean, they say that Trump's the biggest divider, full of hate. Everything they say that Trump is what they are. You see what I'm trying to say?
It's projection.
It's just I could prove it to people, and I tell people all the time who are on the left, and I have debates with a couple of people on the left. We have great civil debates, and when it's all said and done, you know, they all say I'm right on most subjects. But like I tell people all the time, if I sat, and I mean this, and I challenge anybody who's listening to the show who's on the left, if I challenge them to come to Vegas, sit down, smoke a couple of hits of pot with me, because you can think outside the box, and then we could talk politics. And I will guarantee you, if 10 people did that, 8 out of the 10 will see my point of view in life. And on the other side, okay, like if they try and convince me, 0 out of 10 will believe that the left is correct. In other words, the minds that would be changed, okay, are going to be 80% would be changed from people from left to right, and 0, maybe 1, okay, out of 10 might be changed from left to right. If they we had a discussion for 3 hours and talked politics over a couple of hits of pot. I believe that in every form of my bone in my body. But see...
Okay, you got a deal, man. I'm coming out for the World Series of Poker, and we're going to do that. I want to meet you anyway. I want you to sign the book.
You got
it. Great book. People don't know that I haven't read it. It's just, I mean, anyone that's casually into poker like I would be, I mean, it's just amazing. This things in your book, I mean, they're hard to believe. It's almost like you had to make it up to make it that crazy, but no, it's
wait till you see
real.
Wait till you hear the follow-up to the book. I mean, you're going to hear things that have happened to me since that book that you just won't even believe is possible. That's why I've been through 5 times worse shit in the last 12 years than when I wrote that book. So I was going to write Check Raising the Devil 2, The Devil Raised Back, but instead I thought Poker, Pain, and Politics, How All Three Made Me a Better Person, is a better book title, and it's going to be good, I promise. So I got some more calls.
It sounds great, man. Like I said, I'm coming out for the World Series. Are you worried about going and playing live poker with this coronavirus, or are you fine with that?
I'm not worried about it. I have underlying conditions, so I'm a little. That's the only. If I didn't have any underlying conditions, and if I wasn't obese or anything, I mean, I would definitely. I'm not obese, anyways, but I mean, I'm a little overweight, but not that much. But I wouldn't be scared of shit. But the doctor told me, you know, I'm a very high risk if I get the coronavirus, and I have a friend that plays in a home game. The whole home game got the coronavirus. I was supposed to be in. I was very upset. I wasn't invited to the game. Okay, and that's why I say, look, the man upstairs watches over me because everybody in that game got the coronavirus. And so, yeah,
oh my God.
You know, I mean, if I get the coronavirus, the chances of me living through it. I mean, where I read off the survival rate today was a 5.4% die. I mean, I probably have a 5% chance of dying if I get it. So I'm going to be very careful. But other than that, if I didn't have underlying conditions, I mean, Sean Deeb lived through it. The guy's 100 pounds overweight. So I mean, yeah. I was really worried when he got it. I'm like, man, this guy's overweight. He's a perfect classic example of someone to die from the coronavirus, and he's already healthy. So, anyways, that's my thing. I got to go. I got some other calls.
Man, 5% is a 2-outer, and how many 2-outers have you ever been hit by? I mean,
that's over.
I don't like the 5% number.
Right. Like I said, that's over. That's exactly, but that's over the age of 70. You know, like I don't know if you heard when I was reading off the statistics. You know, this is from the CDC right here. You know, I'll read them to you. 0 to 19 survival rate 99.997. And meanwhile, they're keeping the schools closed for political reasons, so the parents can't go to the work, so the economy can't rebound, so they can vote for fucking Biden.
Exactly.
20 to 49 survival rate 99.98. So you have the other one is 0.003%. This is a 0.02% fatality. 20 to 49. 50 to 69. Survival rate is 90. You have a 0.5%, 0.05% of dying. 50 to 69. And 70 plus, 94.6. So you have a 5.4% chance of dying if you're over 70. It's real simple. If you're over 70 until there's a fucking vaccine, stay the fuck home. Okay? If you're under that, go out, enjoy your life. You don't need a fucking mask. Enjoy your life. Don't listen to all the bullshit to scaring people. And if you want to be around grandma and grandpa, go get a fucking COVID test. But if you're out and about, it's real fucking simple. It's real fucking simple. I got to go. I got another call. Thanks for calling, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
See you then.
Peace.
Okay, you too.
All right, let's get them. All right, let's go.
Mike,
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. What's going on, buddy?
how are you?
Good. Who's this?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm a second-time caller. I've been wanting to get through to you last couple
Yep.
podcasts you've held. I got a question. You know, the poker world respects your game. I do too. I've watched you since the early 2000s. I'm just thinking in today's landscape, if I were to, let's just say, for example, you were starting from scratch and I gave you $50,000 to play 5-10 no limit. Okay? Mm-hmm. Or you play in the big games that you crush, right? With all these, you know, the choice games that you play.
Right.
Do you think, what do you think you'd be able to do with your skill level in the 5-10 live games? Like
that's a
game.
That's a great question, because the 5-10 games are the toughest games to beat. They are
right.
The 5-10, the 10-20s are built for grinders. Like if you watch the movie Rounders, like the Kanishas of the world, that's what you have in the 5-10 and 10-20 games. They are tough.
Right.
They are really tough. Since the day I became a pro in 1996, I've said it. The higher you play, the better the game, because you're playing with people
right.
that don't care about money. And so a lot of my success this year, and I have no problem saying it, COVID 2020 has been the best year of my life in poker
yeah.
and in life, probably.
Yeah.
Probably in life.
Yeah.
Than any other year.
That's great.
You know, where it's been the worst for 95, 98, whatever percent of the people. You know, my friend
right.
my friend Jeremy, I played a private game with, he's very wealthy, but he told me, boy, this COVID's been great. He's made so much money. He's crushing games. His business is doing
yeah.
great. You know, he said, God bless COVID. So there's a lot of people that have done well. Now, I pull for the country and the world, so I could care less about
sure.
myself, you know, when it comes to that. But I've gotten in some really good private games. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen. You mentioned that. I mean, is your skill level right now good enough to grind out a living playing 5-10? I mean, do you think you're there again?
Oh, yeah. Now, I was really sharp March, April, and May, and even June. And then Phil got me kicked out of this game because this fucking one sociopath, I'm not going to name any names, who fucking just kept going to Phil and making shit up about me because he wanted me out of the game because the guy was the second best player in the game and I was a threat to him. And he, then he went on to win like another $600,000 in the game. And Phil's like, well, I didn't know he was that good. I go, Phil, the guy was the second best player in the game. The guy made up shit after shit to you to get me kicked out of the game, but you're too big of a fucking idiot to fucking believe me. You're going to believe this idiot you've known for a fucking year. So, this is what poker players do.
Well, he doesn't want the game to break for himself, too, either, you know?
Yeah, this is what poker players do. It's a cutthroat business. I hate it. That's why I'm hoping to. I just invested some money.
My ROI is the best ROI in history. I'll say that.
So poker is a tough way to make an easy living, but there's I'm part of the 1% that's able to make a living, but poker's tough, man. I mean, my advice to people is always is go to school. Don't be a professional poker player, because once you're in, there's kind of no way out. You know, especially if you're young. If you're like 25. And you start playing poker, Like all of a sudden you're 40 years old and you find yourself grinding, and like 15 years of your life had gone by, and if you went to school and worked hard, you'd already have like 2-3 million and a family, and your life's cruising. In poker, yeah, you could be that 1% that has 3, 4, 5 million, 2, 3, 4, 5 million, but most people aren't going to make that money. And I'm just being a realist, you know what I mean? Especially in no limit, it's tough. I mean, if you're a great mixed game player like I am, you know, you learn all the games. Yeah, you could make a good living because you got a lot of fish that play in these big mixed games. But and I'm better than everybody in the mixed games. So
you're gonna make a living. I mean, your edge, and definitely you should turn a profit.
I'm always going to win
no matter what,
in mixed games for sure. And I think in no limit for 4 months. I mean, yeah, the competition wasn't as good, but I got so locked in where it felt like the old Mike. I mean, I just knew what people had. It was just like I couldn't believe how it all came back to me. And I had not played mass amounts of no limit since like 2007. Okay, basically,
are you even really having to make huge adjustments, or is it just are you locked in on a certain style right now?
The adjustments I made is just playing post flop. Before it was all pre flop, and now it's all post flop. So I've always been a great reader of cards, so it wasn't that hard of an adjustment for me. And I
almost like let the board do the work for you now. Like you can let the board.
You just hit it right on the nose,
and you pick the angles, right?
You just hit it right on the nose. Okay. On the days I struggled, my friend would tell me, "You're not letting the game come to you. Let the game come to you, Mike. You're forcing it." And those would be the bad days I would have. And my friend would keep me in line and tell me, "Hey, Mike, you're pressing the action. Relax." And as long as I relaxed, let the game come to me, all of a sudden I'd get a few hands and I'd be patient. And next thing you know, I'd crush. I mean, I had a 38-day winning streak during COVID. A 38-day winning streak in no limit hold'em. And that was.
Well, I've been watching you play on these tournaments too, streaming and that. And what I'm realizing in my game too, I play a lot of PLO.
Mm-hmm.
That game. What I struggle with or have in the past is getting too much money in pre-flop, and then I'm constantly putting myself in a sticky situation post-flop because of the pot size, right?
Yeah,
now,
and that's funny you say that.
The fluctuations are huge.
Yeah, it's funny.
And everything.
It's funny you say that because in my home game, we just started we picked up a bunch of new players and we just started playing a lot of 2-4 PLO. Okay. And
nice.
And I noticed, and I've been playing for like 4 or 5 hours a day because, 2-4 PLO. I mean, you could grind out 1,000 a day, and 500 a day, and that's an extra. Even 500 a day is an extra 14,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? So it's big enough. It's big enough where I could like play it. Where I was I do play in all the mixed games on my site and all the home game. But I struggle like 1-2 no limit. I play like crap, like it's like $50 to call. What's $50? You see what I'm saying? And I find myself,
I get it.
I find myself struggling. But with the 2-4 PLO, you made a good point. I find myself playing pretty good, and again, not inflating the pot pre-flop. You know what I'm saying?
You're constantly under pressure. That's unnecessary because if you're not in position. Yeah. And there's too much money in the middle. Yeah. You don't give yourself a chance because you can't bluff, you can't re-bluff or fight back.
You're
when
right.
The pot size is for your stack.
And I just I hadn't played any PLO. I used to grind the PLO quarter 50s at full tilt in 2008, 2009, 2010. But I noticed I hadn't played any PLO cash since then, so it took me a while to adjust. And I noticed, once I adjusted, you do not want to inflate pots out of position unless you have like ace, king, queen, and then you want to make the pot bigger. Okay. But then if a flop comes shitty, you just check fold, but you want to get money in the pot, when you have a really good hand. But other than that, I mean, I realized, what the game always has been in PLO, and that's you want to be raising pots in position, whether it's medium to marginal or very strong. Position in PLO is so much stronger than it is in no limit, and it's strong in no limit. Don't kid yourself. But PLO and
it's critical. I mean, if I'm out of position with any four,
Yeah.
I don't care if I have aces or double suited, paint or anything. You're under pressure because with the
no,
flow
I know what
of
you're
the game.
saying. I know what you're saying.
People are they're hunting you down.
They're
They're coming after you with,
they'll call you on the flop with one pair, right? Then you'll pot and now there's two spades on the board, right? Now you'll pot the turn. You have like a set, and then the flush card hits, and you check, and they take the pot from you. It's so important. It's so important to be in position, or the board pairs, and you check, and you have a flush. Maybe they're calling you with the king eye flush. Now you check because they bomb it. Now what are you going to do? It's just position and
that's the problem. You're stuck for your stack on one decision when you just put yourself in the trick bag.
Correct. And in Hold'em, it's a lot easier.
Not to give out secrets.
Yeah.
Not that I'm some master, but what I've started doing is opening up. I'm either going to play tight, or I'll do the exact opposite, and I'll start 3 and 4 betting marginal hands because. If you're so isolated.
Well, like when you have the
tight in that game,
when you have the 8, 9, 10, when you have like the 8, 9, 10 king double suited on the button, I 3-bet that all the time. I want to isolate and get head up against the razor because a good chance you're going to flop part of that. And
they're putting you on kings or aces likely,
right?
Depending on your prior play, but there's a lot of learning. That game may never be truly mastered, I think, just in like 08, like your game,
What limits do you usually play PLO?
I usually play at the Aria.
The 1,
they have
3,
a 1,
5
2,
game?
5, and then 5, 10. I'll play.
Yeah.
But,
the 1, 2, 5 is pretty cool. Well, if you're bored or you want to play,
1, 2, 5.
If you're bored and you want to play on my home game, we run a 2-4 PLO every day. It's a lot of fun. You can
That's a good game.
Yeah, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com and my assistant will set you up an account. But it's a lot of fun, and the games.
Yeah, you're not gonna get whacked for a crazy amount, and the upside is. That's what I like about those games is if you lose 1,500 or something, it's a loss, but in a week you could make.
Listen, I made 6,000. I made 6,000 this week. Okay, so. It's a game you can make money in, but and the people that lose, they cry. A lot of the crybabies, I'm like, dude, it's 2-4 PLO. Okay, you're going to swing 2,000-3,000. You could lose $2,000 a day. Okay, it's a big game.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know it's a big game. So these people, they whine. I'm like, please don't unless you can afford to lose 5,000 in a week. Okay, please don't play this game. I tell them that. I'm like, this game, you might look at it as $2-4, okay? But the game plays so much bigger. It just does. Like I said, it allows me to focus and play.
How many seats do you have at your tables?
What's that?
How many seats do you play with at your tables?
I think it's 8-handed, 9-handed, but usually we usually have 2 like 7-handed games going. I mean, sometimes they fill up.
If you have 1 or 2 action players, you've got to be playing for stacks almost every hand.
We have.
You'll be prepared to.
We have 2. We have 2 players that play in the game that have 100% VPIP, literally. Like I've never seen. Well, one guy has a 96% VPIP. I'll say, okay, but we have another guy has 100% VPIP. I've never seen a guy play for 3 hours in an 8 or 9-handed PLO game and not ever fold a hand. And Ray, I just never seen it. I told him I'd give a shout out to him on my podcast today. I go, 1W, this is for you. You're the fucking first guy I played with in 24 years that has a fucking 100% VPIP. But you're fucking fun
incredible.
for the site. You're good for my game. God bless you. I told him I'd give him a shout out. Anybody who has 100, because I've been playing 24 years, I'd never seen 100% VPIP. I mean, I've seen people play 90% of the hands. I'd never seen 100 before. This is this fun. So I told him I'd give him a shot.
Yeah, and you can't sit. You'll get eaten alive if you just sit back and wait. With a table full of anything of that style. But
listen, I got more.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I got a couple more calls. I got to answer that. So if you want to play, if you want to play my home, if you want to play in the home game, just email mouthpoker@yahoo.com and my assistant will set you up. All right, man. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate the info, man.
You got it.
Have
Later.
a good one. See you.
Bye, bye.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
Next. I figured the calls would come in. It was really weird how they were slow for a little bit.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Welcome to Mouthpiece.
Hey, my name's Mark. I cannot believe I'm actually talking to you, brother.
That's all good, man.
It's just unbelievable. I just have a quick poker question for you, so to speak. I took my bankroll and I bought a house for my family.
I've done that before.
Which is good. But now I'm kind of starting over. I've been playing poker about 10 to 11 years right now as like kind of solid 3 days a week. I drive a truck, so I'm all over the country, and I go to Canada sometimes, and I'm lucky to play there. I was just kind of wondering what you think, and I got $5,000 on hand now to start my bankroll back up and start playing again. Should I break that into some tournaments, or should I just play cash right now?
I would not go and play tournaments, because tournaments are people that take shots to try and make a big score right away. It's one of the biggest problems that people make. They find themselves, hey, I only got this much money. What do I do? And then they I need to make a score. I need to make a score because I went and bought something big, or they had a losing streak. My advice is play small, lower level poker. Try and grind yourself up to like 1,000 a week, or even whatever, like a couple hundred a day for a while, and build that up to about 20,000, and then move yourself up. And that's what I would do.
You're thinking like I was. I was going to say, if I can make an extra $300 a day, let's say if I play like 4 days a week, that's $1,200. You know what I'm saying? And if I got a free weekend, I play a little bit longer, maybe a 12-hour shift.
Do you play live or online?
I just play live games.
Oh, good, yeah. So, that's what I would do. I would, live, your variance is going to be way less than online. You'll be able to, if you're a good player, I mean, even in a 1-3 game, you buy in for like 1,000 or whatever. If you're any kind of a player, that's 300 big blinds. You could buy in for like 300 3 times. You know what I mean? That's 100 big blinds.
Yeah.
If you lose,
I just want to say thank you, and I really mean that, because I actually, I knew who you were, through the World Series of Poker and stuff like that, and I found your podcast like a month ago.
Oh, cool.
And I was going back, and I was listening to that Mike Sexton interview that you had a few years back.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable stuff, and I just want to say thanks. It keeps me entertained while I'm driving.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good podcasts. I've had a couple of really mainstream political people on. I've had a lot of mainstream sports people on. We're trying to grow the podcast. We had a little bit of a lull during COVID because there was no poker going on, and there was really no sports going. There was really nothing to talk about, except for my home game that I was playing, my private game I was playing, and so I didn't have any podcasts for a while. But we're going full steam through the football season here, and we'll be here. Probably every Thursday to Saturday, one of the 3 days. We're not sure, so keep listening, and I appreciate you to calling in.
I appreciate you, brother. Be safe. Don't forget to vote. 2020, brother.
You got it, buddy. Trump 2020. I agree.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. To the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. Cello. Hello. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Is anybody there? Guess no one's there. Click. Let's go to the next one. That's it? Cool. All right, we'll hang around for 5 more minutes, see if we get another call. If you missed out on any part of the podcast, this week I'm doing a little bit more. If you haven't joined my home game yet and you want to play $1 $2 no limit, $2 $4 no limit, 1-2 PLO, and 2-4 PLO. Right now it's been mostly 1-2 no limit and 2-4 PLO this week, but it changes during the week. Email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and for a $200 deposit, you get $300 in chips. And put in the email Mouthpiece. So in the email to mouthpoker@yahoo.com and put in a promo code Mouthpiece and receive a $300 in chips for $200. And we got another call. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. Who's this? Yo, yo. Yo, yo. What's up, man? You there?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up, man? Who's this?
This is Sean. How's it going?
Sean, buddy. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. Just seen you online. Just thought I'd say hi.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. What have you been up to, man? How things going?
Not too bad. I just heard somebody on there. I think it was a truck driver. I think he said. I think he was a truck driver on there. I think. I think he was. I think you were just talking to him. I think he said something about Canada. I'm from Canada, so I just called him and say hi.
Oh, cool, man. How's it going in Canada? Do they let you out of the house, or do they have you on lockdowns there?
Actually, we're allowed out of the house. Actually, we're not on lockdown.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people want to compare the COVID situation in Canada to the United States, but what they just don't understand is people didn't fly in from China to Europe or China or Europe to the United States, okay, and then nobody flies into Canada, okay? All the whole spread of the virus is from all the flights coming in that went from China to Europe and Europe to the United States, you know? People don't fly into Canada directly, you know what I mean? From Europe. So that's why the COVID cases are a lot less there, and you try and tell people that, and they're just stupid, you know. But
how are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, you know, it's been tough. It's been a long, you know. The thing is, you know, it's just I just want this election to be over with, so the country quits burning, you know, because you know, if Trump wins, the difference is they'll keep trying to burn the country, but Trump will have the troops out on the street, and that'll be the end of that. He can't do that right now because they'll call him a dictator or a fascist. But I am worried if Trump loses, if the right doesn't just go completely crazy, say we've had enough. So I'm really, really worried about the country. I'm scared to death of civil war. And it's been totally media. Everything's media driven. All the divide in this country is media driven. They need to divide the country to get people out to vote. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen. Both sides do it. It's so sick. It's so sick. What people do for power.
I agree with you, Mike. I do agree with you there.
I don't care what side you're. If you're telling me, no matter what side of the equation you're on, if you're telling me, oh, Trump's the big divider, and the Democrats are, they're both fucking divide. They're doing one's causing racial unrest by going anti-police, which is really dangerous, and the other, and Trump's going, fear mongering with, all these rioters are coming to the suburbs. They're coming for you. You know, that starts more fear. You know, that's not true either. So, I mean, there's just what's going. It's so fucking brutal out here, bro. I mean, we're still fucking sick. 5 weeks away from the election. I mean, can you imagine how bloody this shit's gonna get the next 3 weeks? Oh my God. Pray.
It was nice to talk to you, Mike. I just was calling to say hi, man. I just stay safe over there and just calling to say, you know, we love you over here in Canada, bro.
Thank you so much, man. God bless you. God bless your country. God bless everybody. And thank you for calling. And I appreciate you calling into the Mouthpiece. And thank you so much, man.
Hey, Mike, don't worry, bro. Have a good one, buddy. We love you. Cheers,
you too,
dude.
my friend. Love you too. Later.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, we got one more call. One more call. Where is our one more call we missed?
You have reached...
All right. We're out of calls. All right. So... we just got a call? All right, we'll call them back. We call everyone back here in the Mouthpiece. Come on, editor, man. You're doing a bad job, man.
No, we're trying to call. Somebody else called.
All right. We're all good. say? Bum, 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 bum.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's going on, man?
Hey, Mike Madison. Wow.
What's going on?
Dude, I've been watching you since World Series of Poker, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You're just one of those memorable characters, you know?
Yeah, I'm a character. That's an understatement for me. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a character. You know, I kind of tell it like it is. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself, you know? That's it. You know, I just try and be me, man. Try and be me. Try and make money in poker. Try and teach people poker that want help. You know, try and make the world a better place. That's kind of what I do. You know, that's all I do. That's all I care about. You know, try and make the world a better place.
That's great, man.
You know, it's just...
That's great. So I just have a question for you.
Sure.
So I watched an interview with Daniel Negreanu from 3 years ago on Poker Stories with Card Player. And he kind of took I feel like he kind of took a little dig at you.
Yeah.
He said that you owed him money or something like that.
Yeah.
But I've been listening. Oops.
Yeah, that's been taken care
But
of. That's been taken care of.
Yeah,
it was very hurtful. What it was is Daniel. We're very close again, and that's been taken care of, and we talk a lot. But what it was is he was there for me after my injury where nobody else was, and I screwed up. But most of it and the anger from him was political, because he was like 80 degrees left in 2016, and I was like 80 degrees right, and it caused it was like a war of the worlds.
I believe in capitalism.
Yeah, and this year, you know, I'm 5 degrees right, and he's about 5 or 10 degrees left, and the craziness, the bitter war that we got in over it is over. So both of us are trying our best to try and stay. You know, we're going to push sort of aside who we believe in, but we're trying to not go politically insane like we were 4 years ago. And
I got the heebie-jeebies.
I'm trying my best to do that. So yeah, me and Daniel are doing good. So
that's good. I was going to say, because like in the later podcasts, you guys seem like you tell stories about him. You guys seem like you're getting along.
Yeah, we are.
So I thought that was.
Yeah, we are.
Good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's very passionate about one side politically, and I'm passionate about the other. And I could read you off some of the texts that we go at each other a lot, but it's not hateful text. It's not hateful text like it was in 2016, where I don't even want to ever repeat some of the texts he sent me. And we get along pretty good. So, you know, it's really good. What's that, bud? Yeah, I don't know. We have a 2-part episode podcast with Daniel. That was a year ago, right? No, it was right before the World Series started last year. So it was June of 2019. You can check out that 2-part episode. It was really good. We cleared the air on everything we were upset with, and then we moved forward. So it's a really great a podcast. I don't know if you've listened to it yet, but you go check it out. That's from 1st of June, or it's either 1st of June or late May. It was right before the World Series started. We did a 2-part episode, so you can check that out.
Nice, I will. And last thing I want to say is Mike Madison for Poker Hall of Fame. It should have happened a while ago.
You're damn right, buddy. I mean, hopefully it'll happen this year. If it doesn't, you know, whatever. I'm not going to lie. I'm always going to be disappointed with the World Series of Poker, because my dad was very sick, and I told them that, and I really wanted him to be in the Hall of Fame before my dad passed away, and he passed away in April, and it's something I don't know if I could ever forgive them for, but yeah, you know, I'm going to get in, whether it's this year or next year. It'll be soon, but I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, and thank you for the call.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. All right.
Bye.
Okay, great. All right, 2 more calls.
Everybody decides to call in at the same time.
That's okay.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's going on, man?
Hey, Mike. This is Chris. I'm in Seattle, Washington. I got 2 questions. One, your home game. Do you have out-of-state players?
I have out-of-state players. I have out-of-country players. I have people from all over the world playing it. It's really good. I mean, I'm more like I'm raking very small just for my time, and I used to play 2 hours a day, and now I'm playing probably 4 because my big game right now is not running. So I've been playing with everybody about 4 hours a day. We play 1-2 no limit, 2-4 no limit. Right now the main game has been like 2-4 PLO, which allows me to kind of focus a little more, because when you can win or lose 1,000 a day, it's a lot easier for me to focus. Like in the 1 and 2 games, like I jump in the 1 and 2 no limit, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm the fish. I literally donate like 400 every day in the 1-2 no limit, and then I beat the PLO for about 800 because I try, because it's a little bit bigger. But yeah, you can. Anybody can play. We have 1-2, 2-4 no limit, 2-4 hold'em, and PLO, and then we put in a $4-8 Omaha 8 or better with a kill to 6-12. And when that game runs, I usually Zoom with my players and I try and teach people. So a lot of times I kind of give away a little of my Omaha 8 or better secrets, and we have a lot of fun. We usually Zoom Saturday nights, and it's been usually Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I expect us all to Zoom this week. It'll be Tuesday and Saturday, because I'm probably gonna Zoom tonight with all the players, and then we're actually gonna have a Zoom party for the debates on Tuesday. So that should be a lot of fun, where we go at each other and have some fun watching these two fucking old guys that can barely speak fucking try and run the fucking country. So that should be fun to watch.
And then the second question is, did you get to catch Helmuth and Antonio's matchup? What was your thoughts on how that went?
Okay, so Phil called me yesterday and told me about all these hands he played and what happened. I have not watched it yet, but I'm going to. He said it was really good. I've heard mixed stories. I've heard watching Phil Helmuth play is just funny. I've heard that, but he has a different style. People listen, styles work. Different styles work. I'm a believer you do not bash somebody because the way you play poker is different than theirs. Antonio is one of the best head-up, short-handed cash game players in the world. Okay, guy's made fucking probably more than maybe all but 2 people. Maybe he's definitely made top 3 most money in poker playing cash games, in big cash games. And Phil's beat him twice. If he beats him one more time, it's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be something.
You're too good. You're too good.
Yeah, something I'm gonna be able to make fun of Antonio for a while. But no, I haven't seen it yet. But I'm going to watch it probably after the football Sunday night. Check it out. So it should be cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling, and tell all your friends listen to the Mouthpiece. I appreciate it. Later.
Will do.
Bye. One more?
Because I'm good at no limit hold'em.
You're good at no limit hold'em? You suck, Phil.
Because I'm good at no limit hold'em.
You suck, Phil.
I've lost once.
Phil, you always lose. You suck.
Hello?
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Oh, dude. Mike, man.
What's
Good
up?
to talk to you, man. I'm a big fan. Going back a lot of years, man. I read Check Raising the Devil, and I don't know what you've been doing since then, man, but hey, dude, big fan, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been grinding. I had a really serious injury where I was almost paralyzed in 2014. I lived in chronic pain until they got a spinal cord stimulator put in me in 2019, and that gave me my life back. Lately, the pain's been really bad. I've been dealing with shit, but I got the spinal cord stimulator adjusted yesterday, plus got a pain shot, so I'm not in pain today, so let's cross our fingers I won't be. But it's been a long road back for me. When you can't work and you're in chronic pain and your bills are $20,000 a month, you go broke quick. So it took me, I had to lose everything and hit rock bottom before I bounced back. I got a new book coming out called Poker, Pain, and Politics, How All Three Made Me a Better Person. That'll be out hopefully by the first of the year. I was hoping it came out by the election, but unfortunately it didn't. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing with myself. You know, just working hard and and trying to not play victim. You know, I played victim for 3.5 years and blamed everybody for my injury. You know, you got to be a victor in life, man. This world right now, the country's burning because everybody's got victim mentality on one side of the fence. You can't have victim mentality. Go out, stop blaming everybody for your problems, go to fucking work, and you're going to be fine in life. If you keep blaming other people for your problems, you'll be a loser. I did it for 3.5 years. I blamed everybody. So you gotta play the victor, man. Can't play the victim. Especially during these times, man. You know, I got a friend that plays in my home games, runs a hardware store. His name's Mike. He can't get people to work, you know, because they're sitting there on the unemployment money making more money than they would if they worked. So, you know, he's worried about his business because he can't get people to work. So, you know, when they want to talk about, you know, the job market or whatever, you know, go out and work and stop being a lazy fuck, and you'll be all right in this fucking world. That I know for sure. So,
I mean, it's tough, you know. It's there's a lot, you know, our government's done to prevent people from having a lot of job opportunities available to them.
No shit. Well, they've done it on purpose because there's an election coming up, and they got to keep the economy down. They do not want. That's why the schools aren't open. That's why half these fucking bars and restaurants aren't open. They don't care that all these people lose everything. They want to the Democrats want to put people into poverty so they could depend on them and vote for them for handouts for power. That's all that's going on. It's the most disgusting thing ever. And anybody wants to debate me on this, I could just debate them. You know, I know what's going on. It's just as obvious as could be. I mean, I saw it coming before there was COVID. I knew in 2020 what was going to happen, that they were going to do whatever they could to get Trump out of office. And I didn't believe they'd go to this lengths, but my girlfriend did. And listen, this is going to be a bloody fucking next 5 weeks in this country. And I pray to God that we make it through it. I really do. I'm really worried, you know.
How's Biden going to look at in this debate?
Well, let's put it this way. Don't underestimate him. The guy's been in politics since I was 3 years old. Just think about that. You want to vote for a guy who the fucking establishment fucking hates because he's doing things to help the American people? Or do you want to vote for a guy who's done nothing for 49 years? Nothing. Zero for 47 years. Okay, nothing. Zero. He's done nothing to help minorities. He's fucking done nothing to help anything. What makes them think they're going to elect this guy and he's going to fix? He's not going to fix anything. He's going to go right back to his China buddies, collect his money, and go back to the status quo of all these Bloombergs of the world and all these billionaires of the world that are getting rich off China, going back to get rich off China. You know, they don't give a fuck about our country, man. They care about their pocketbooks. You know, how do people like Nancy Pelosi on a $300,000 a year, $250,000, whatever, $285,000 a year, she's worth $185 million. Give me a fucking break. All these fucking low-life fucking politicians. Let's go. They want Trump's tax returns. Let's get all their tax returns. I'm sure Trump would say, okay, you want my tax returns? Let me see yours, Pelosi, yours, Schumer, yours, and let me see where all those hundreds of millions came from. You know, go fuck them. I mean, it's just disgusting. I just know this, man. Pray for us, bro. This next 5 weeks will probably be the worst 5 weeks to ever happen in this country. I just want you to know that. And maybe the 3 weeks after the election, if Trump but when Trump wins, it's gonna be bloody. And if somehow Trump loses, I'm worried about the people on the right saying I've had enough, and they have all the guns. The right has all the guns. I'm worried. I'm very worried. I'm very fucking worried. I'm not. I
feel like the military is going to stay loyal to whoever's the top guy.
Well, the military. The thing is this: if Trump wins, okay, and these leftists that are burning the country down right now, The military is going to be in the streets. See, Trump can't bring the military in right now because they're going to call him a dictator fascist, okay? So it's up to the governors to ask for, that's why I try people, this is Trump's America that's burning. No, when Trump can't do anything because the governors fucking will not let him bring the National Guard in, okay? Because if he brings the National Guard, they want the unrest in the streets. They need the unrest in the streets to fucking motivate the black vote. It's all it's about. It's nothing else. It's all it is. You know, they just keep putting out fake shit that police are murdering black people when they know it's not true. You're literally 3.5 times more likely to be struck by lightning and die than somebody that's an unarmed black person who died in the hands of police.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Shut up.
Are you the greatest?
So, I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, but one side doesn't want to hear the truth. Yeah.
I mean, it does seem like there is some amount of racial injustice. I mean, just as far as people getting prosecuted for the same crime.
But that's, let's put it this way. Okay. But I don't believe it's race. I mean, I believe if you have money, you have a better chance of not going to jail. Okay. Than if you don't have money. But that's the same as white people. That's the same as white people and black people. You know what I'm saying? And that also, see, the thing is they should be, instead of passing this false narrative Marxist movement that the Black Lives Matter is passing, they should be talking about everything that they should be talking about should be about education, okay? And what they don't show on left-wing media is all Trump does at every rally and every turn is push for education, for school choice, to allow people that are not as fortunate to get a better education, to go to a better school, okay? But the thing is, I think our government should work on fixing the inner cities with higher education teachers. I mean, I really truly believe that both sides do not want blacks and Latinos to prosper in this country. And I think that's what they're fighting for. But by going to Biden, let me tell you something. Do you think Biden is going to help anybody? This guy if you listen to the things he said in the past, he doesn't want to help black people. None of them do. Because see, on the left, if they made education and they helped African American peoples, why would they vote for him? Okay, they need to keep them down, keep them on welfare, keep them dependent on that government check, so they can vote for him. See, they don't want them to succeed. You know, I agree with what Candace Owens says. She wrote a new book called Blackout: How to Get Black People off the plantation for the second time. You know, and I do believe it's a plantation that the Democrats control the black vote. And the media, which tells you how, the Republicans racist. Okay, what have they fucking done? Okay, they had a black president for 8 years and race relations got worse. Okay, the black economy got worse. Obama didn't do shit for black America. I'm just being honest, you know? So it's
I feel like Obama was a genuine guy in that, he did want good things for black people. I feel like a lot of the left is that way. I mean, there are definitely a lot of people who are just corrupt, who just literally, politicians. But I feel like most actual people who support Biden or support the left, they do want to see racial justice.
Absolutely.
They do want to see black people prosper. They just don't understand economics.
Right, dude. You could not have said it any better. Dude, you hit it right on the nose. But that's the same people on the right. They want to see black people prosper just as much. I've gone to Trump rallies. Every time Trump talks about black America and he's going to give this much money, the crowd goes crazy. So when they say, Trump supporters are racist, I challenge anybody who's on the left to go to a Trump rally, and you tell me if you could find one racist person. I fucking talked to so many people at Trump rallies, and they go crazy when they bring up black America. It's just a lie. Everything's a fucking lie for power. And don't get me wrong, the right does a lot. Trump does a lot of things that are bad also. for power that divides. But it's just, to me, I just see it's so blatantly obvious what's going on in the country. I knew this would happen. I didn't know they'd take it this far. I didn't know they'd go all out anti-police and want, And now, once they saw the poll numbers shrinking, all of a sudden Biden started condemning the violence. They didn't do shit at their convention to condemn the violence. And then you have people on the left and our friends of mine, they're like, oh, there's no violence. It's just fake, made up. Antifa's made up by the right. That's a fucking lie. Do your research, okay? The poll numbers shifted because hundreds and thousands of businesses have been burned to the ground, but the media won't show it to you because it hurts their narrative. But people are, and that's why when people get mad at me when I retweet shit on Twitter showing the violence going on in this country, because they don't want to see the truth. They want to believe that what the media is telling them, and the media is literally fucking like North Korea media. There's not. I challenge anybody to fucking find 10 things they say on CNN in a day for 5 of them to be true. I challenge anybody for any bet they want. They're just fucking liars. They make shit up.
It's all propaganda.
It's all propaganda. I mean, I never knew this. I thought we lived in a country of sensationalized media. I thought they would make it like overblown for ratings. They make shit up.
Because it's a corrupt system. Because the media companies are obviously like there isn't free competition in broadcast media.
No.
Because the media companies have the politicians paid off.
Yep.
Because it's just a freaking corrupt deal. And
Yep.
I mean, it's all over the economy.
Yep. Dude. Yep, you just hit it right on the nose, dude. That's it. That's what's going on. And I look back, and again, what Hitler did with the Holocaust and the Jews is something that the world will never get over. But like his whole thing was how the media is destroying the world, and the media is run by Jews, so he blamed all the Jews. Okay, now. The media is run by leftist fucking liberal Jews, which are not actual Jews, okay? They want to say they're Jews. And then, so I understand, like, it makes my religion and my people look bad. These leftist fucking uncaring fucking people like Chuck Schumer, right, of the world.
No. Now it's not the Jews. Now the Jews are no longer the group that we are taught to hate. Now we are taught to hate the capitalist.
Yeah.
Now that is the word of the bad person. This, this undefined. And I
believe in capitalism.
Spend so much time like going back and forth with these Marxists on like, how do you even define a capitalist? Like, is a stripper a capitalist because she owns her own productive capital? Is a small business owner? And then an employee who's an employee, a CEO is an employee,
Right.
I mean, it's this fictitious differentiation between these two classes and it's very similar to where Hitler was saying it's the Jews, it's these Jews who fucking control, all of the power, and that's why we've been suffering. That's why we've had this poverty and the hyperinflation and all the Weimar and all that.
Right. Yeah. No, you're 100% right, bro. And it's listen, I mean, it really is a fight for the soul. I mean, to think that, I've done a lot of research. I've only been political for 5 years, but like where the Democrat Party was in the 60s of Kennedy, okay, even where the Democrat Party was where Clinton. I mean, they have come so far left that they talk about Biden wants to say the soul of the country is at stake. Yeah, the soul of the country of capitalism is at stake. They are. I don't know if I know it took Biden up until only like 2 weeks ago to come to the center. He fucking went so far left in the primary, which he would never have won if it wasn't rigged. I mean, they all jump out of nowhere and just say, "Oh, I'm going for Joe Biden." The guy couldn't even put 2 sentences together. I'm like, well, how are they going to hide this guy for 7 months? Oh, the magical coronavirus appears out of China, the same country we're in an $18 trillion trade war with. You think they didn't release it on purpose? You're just an idiot. Sorry. That's just my belief. You could call me an idiot all you want. You really believe in all these coincidences. How are they going to hide this fucking guy for 7 months? The guy can't put 2 sentences together. Now, for one debate, I'm sure they'll have him on some good medication, and I'm sure he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to have like 30 paragraphs just typed up just about, the issues they want to cover, and they're just going to tell them, like, you ask you a question, the answer, you just pick one of these paragraphs, and you just basically read it, just verbatim, even if it's the wrong question, because half the time they answer the different question anyway. So who's going to know the difference? That's how I would get them through.
Fucking the Democrats gave fucking Hillary the debate questions against Bernie. I mean, what do you think they want? They might not do it in some of these fucking. I don't think Chris Wallace will do it, but man, I don't trust anybody. I mean, I'm just fucking pray for this fucking country. This next 5 weeks is going to be so bloody, bro. It's going to be so bloody.
Well, I do too, man. I mean, I believe very much in a higher power, and I mean,
Me too.
My life got real fucked up, and I've been relying on God for 13 years.
Keep it up, man. It's very important. When things got bad for me, I lost faith in God. That's when things kept getting worse. Once I got my fucking faith back, everything's been great. So yeah, it's important. All right, man. I got other calls. Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Take care. Peace.
Bye.
How many more calls?
Everybody's calling in now.
Great.
3 or 4 that we've missed.
And my back's killing me all of a sudden. Let's do a couple more and wrap it up. My back is fucking killing me. Do. Goodbye. Next. Oh, I gotta stretch. My back hurts so bad. Oh, look at Gizmo. Look, can I give Gizmo a look? Which camera works? Look, it's Gizmo.
Oh, wait, don't. Yeah.
Is this the one that works?
No, but don't touch that other one because you'll never get it back the right way.
All right. Gizmo. He's upside down, Gizmo. He's so cool, my little boy. My baby boy. Hello? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Hello? All right.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How it going?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What's your name?
My name's Jerry.
Jerry, nice to meet you, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm out here in Iowa.
Iowa.
Stranded in Iowa.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
It's safe out there. You don't have to worry about the riots out there in Iowa.
Yeah, that's true. I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I've heard Vegas has really gone downhill is what I've been hearing.
It's really bad.
Someday trying to get out there.
It's been really bad. It's really bad. The one thing I can say is Metro doesn't put up with shit because it's a very tourist town. But I mean, it's they don't report it much on the news, but they have like independent journalists showing what's been going on in Vegas. There's been a lot of shit going on in Vegas too. So, it is what it is, man. It's just got to pray for our country, man. The next 5 weeks is going to be bad. Going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I hope everything turns out okay.
Yeah, me too, man.
Just hope for the best.
You got any questions for me?
Yeah, I was just thinking. Hey, do you ever hear anything about Texas Dolly? How's he doing?
Oh, he's good, man. He's like 86. He was on the Mike Sexton tribute podcast I did about 3 weeks ago. He's not playing much poker anymore. He's just chilling. He's hanging out with his grandson. He's doing good, man. He's doing good. So,
How about Jen Harmon?
She's doing good too. I haven't talked to her in a while. Oh, she was on the podcast too. That's right. Yeah, she came on the podcast for the Mike Sexton tribute about 3 weeks ago. But I have, because of my underlying conditions, I just haven't gone to play poker. It's just, to me, the risk reward is not worth it. If I didn't have underlying conditions, I'd be playing poker at the Bellagio every day, and I wouldn't give a fuck, So, and people like to say I'm a hypocrite because I call the virus a hoax. When I call the virus a hoax, I just mean that I read off the stats. If you're like under the age of 49, you're like 99.98% to survive. Okay, so stop with the closing, keeping the whole world closed. If you have underlying conditions or you're over 70 years old, stay home. It's really an easy fucking thing. It's not hard, So
yeah, I agree.
But I knew they were going to run. I knew it. I knew they were going to ride the virus out all the way to Election Day, because that's all the Democrats have to run on. They have no policies. They have nothing. All they're running on is COVID, orange man bad. COVID, orange man bad. COVID, orange man bad. And now they have something else to run on. COVID, orange man bad. Trump's unconstitutionally stealing a Supreme Court seat. No, that's the lie. So now they have something else, which I think will fire up the left-wing base. I think that this the Supreme Court thing is going to definitely fire up the left-wing base. But we're going to see what happens. I mean, I just pray for our country, man. I pray for everyone.
Yeah, I do too. One thing I really truly agree. There's things I don't agree with Trump, with him, but there's a lot of things that I do agree.
Exactly.
With Trump, but one thing I do agree is the mail-in voting. Man, that's got so much room for fraud.
That's the thing. And listen, Bill Barr. Go Google the Bill Barr Wolf Blitzer interview about 2 weeks ago. He's like, you don't understand. He said straight out. And now the Democrats have pivoted off mail-in ballots. They're all now everything's about vote in person, vote early, because they realize the mail-in ballots are. We're not talking about absentee ballots. You apply for an absentee ballot, you send your ID, they send you an absentee ballot. But they're sending in Las Vegas anybody who's on the voter roll a ballot to vote. Okay, that's not how our country works. Okay, you got a campaign to get out the vote. You don't just send ballots directly to people's houses. Okay, and they're doing that, and then they're going to go vote in person, and they're going to end up voting twice. And you have the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania just override and allow ballots to come in 72 hours after Election Day. This country's been in for 230 years. This country's been we've had a country for, right? You're never allowed to votes after 8 p.m. at night are not counted unless they're absentee ballots from the military. And now the Democrats are trying to change the rules. Why are they doing it in all the swing states? Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and fucking Michigan.
Iowa.
Yeah, and Iowa. They're doing it because they're trying to steal the election. And anybody could tell me on this, I swear to God, anybody that could get on this fucking podcast that could tell me that why mail-in ballots are good and what they're doing is not trying to steal the election, tell me, because they can't. Okay, right. They're accusing Trump they accuse Trump of doing what they're doing. Where is Trump trying to steal the election? Because he doesn't want mass mail-in ballots allowed to be counted after November 3rd? If Trump's ahead on November 3rd, Trump's the fucking president. Okay, that's it, and that's why they're going to fight the Supreme Court seat, because the Supreme Court's going to rule in his favor. You have to have your ballots absentee, and they're going to tell you every ballot that was fucking put out in Nevada that was sent to them is unconstitutional and aren't going to count, and they're going to have a recount in Nevada. You mark my word. This is going to be a fight to the death for the next 2 months after this election. But there's no reason for it.
Terrible.
We don't need this. We're in the most divided country in history. We need an election where everybody sees the results and there's nothing to bicker about. Do you think Trump's going to bicker about it if there's no mass mail-in ballots sent out to people on the voter rolls where half of them are fucking dead that aren't even living this place anymore? Do you think he's just trying to get a fair election? I mean, Supreme Court overturning, allowing 72 hours. In 72 hours after the election, they're going to see where they stand. Do you know how easy it's going to be to stuff a fucking mailbox with a postmark of November 2nd? If they're going to allow 3 days, this is going to cause fucking civil war. This is insane. Yeah. So all he's saying is, and he says it every day, mail-in ballot, absentee ballots, fine. Mail-in ballots, no. And he's right. And he's right when he says everything needs to be in by November 3rd. Why is he subverting democracy? He's telling you what's been done for 225 years. And these fucking Democrats are going to try. Think about it. They want mail-in ballots to be accounted for 3 days after the election? Are you fucking kidding me? If Trump's winning on election night, do you think that they're going to go for that? Do you think the people on the right are going to just take it? The country will burn. We can't have it. We can't have it. It's got nothing to do. Like I said, they were like, "Oh, Trump's trying to subvert democracy about mail-in ballots." No, he wants everything to be in by November 3rd and no mass mail-in ballots that they sent out 2 million fucking ballots to fucking people in Nevada and some other states. Give me a break. Anyway, man, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Right. Have a great one. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Hey, man, I think you're an awesome, great poker player, Mike. You're a legend.
Thank you, my man.
Appreciate you.
Take care. Love you, man. Take care. Peace.
All right. Have fun. All right.
All right, man. I'm in too much pain. I can't do another one. All right. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm just in too much pain. I wish all these calls would have came in earlier. So we had to pivot to my pick of the week. So listen, you guys, before I sign off, again, I'm 2-0 on my pick of the weeks. And I'm 2-16 on the rest of them. This week's pick of the week, Atlanta Falcons -3.5 over the Chicago Bears. I like it a lot. Go with it. And once again, if you haven't joined my home game, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. Playing 1-2-2-4, no limit, PLO, 4-8, Omaha 8 or better with a kill. And put in the email, Mouthpiece Podcast. Receive a $100 bonus for $200 initial deposit. You get $300 for $200. It's the highest I've ever gone if you're listening to the Mouthpiece. We're out of here. Another show in the books. Episode 51 is gone. I'll be seeing you next week. Debates are Tuesday. Thursday, we're going to be talking about how the debates went. And then we're going to be talking about what's going on in the sports world. Pulling for my Lakers. I'm still a diehard Laker fan as much as I hate LeBron. And the baseball playoffs are coming up. Probably going to have Oral Hershiser come back on. Talk about the baseball playoffs. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good weekend.